Hello, sports fans, and welcome to the Scott Sports 101 Sunday Night Football postgame show and Monday Night Football update show. We'll get to the Monday night game and Sunday night and Monday night games momentarily. We'll talk about both of them, one recap and one update. But first, here is today's Scott Sports 101 Monday Night Football Week 13 trivia question. It is a Browns trivia question. Who led the AFC in interceptions in 1994? I will have the answer later on the podcast. Well, we're going to go back to last night's Sunday night game first. Josh Allen's memorable week began with singer-actress Haley Steinfeld accepting his proposal for marriage and ended with the Buffalo Bills quarterback celebrating his 3 TD outing in an AFC's clinching 35-10 win over San Francisco by making snow angels alongside Coach Sean McDermott on Sunday night. He's the one that got me to do what Allen said of interrupting McDermott's television interview to lay backwards in a snow pile. I am not the biggest snow angel fan, but you get cold down there. My toes are freezing right now. But it was fun. As for Steinfeld saying yes during his bye week proposal, Allen said, felt good, felt free. And he could just as well have been referring to his performance by having brave bone-chilling temperatures and a persistent snowfall in becoming the NFL's first quarterback and seventh player in the Super Bowl era to score touchdown passing, rushing, and receiving, a sandwich between his 7-yard touchdown pass to Mac Hollins and an 8-yard scoring run. Allen scored, receiving a touchdown pass on a pass he threw to his latest do-everything performance, with Amari Cooper corralling a short pass with a one-handed catch. The receiver was in the midst of being wrapped up by 2 Niners defenders when he pitched the ball back to Allen. The quarterback sprinted to the left corner of the end zone and dived past for the pylon for the score. Excuse me. It's got to be up there. I wish he got credited for something there. And it's set for a passing touchdown. Allen said of Cooper, I just I chased the ball to be there. We made eye contact. It was dope. Cooper said he acted on instinct in a play that could well have been drawn up in the snow on the sideline. Was wondering what he was doing over there, Cooper said. I figured he was over there because he wanted the ball, so I gave it to him. Snow flew like confetti in celebration from the packed stands as the Bills, who are now 10-2, scored on 4 or 5 possessions, spanning halftime to build a 28-3 lead, starting with a Ray Davis 5-yard run. James Cook scored on a career-high 65-yard run and finished with 107 yards rushing. And the defending NFC champion 49ers, who fell to 5-7, unraveled as they dropped their 3rd straight and lost running back Christian McCaffrey to what Coach Kyle Shanahan said was a potential season-ending injury to the posterior cruciate ligament in his cruciate ligament in his knee. Shanahan believes McCaffrey was hurt on an 18-yard run up the middle. The All-Pro running back stayed in the game and on the next play appeared to step awkwardly with his left foot on the snow-slicked field and went down immediately after being examined on the sideline. He limped into the locker room and was ruled out at the start of the second half. McCaffrey had 53 yards on 7 carries when he exited the game, his fourth after missing the first 8 of the season with an Achilles tendinitis. It feels dark and gloomy and absolutely depressing. Honestly, I'll feel that probably in a couple hours. Tight end George Kittle said, "The only way to make this feel better is to go and take advantage of next week and try to get a win." And that's exactly right. And very little went right for the 49ers in an outing. They lost 3 fumbles, and Jake Moody missed 2 of 3 field goal attempts. San Francisco was also missing 5 starters due to injury and is now in jeopardy of missing the playoffs a season after losing the Super Bowl to Kansas City. Moody opened scoring with a 33-yard field goal, and Isaac Guerrero scoring a 15-yard run. Brock Purdy coming back after missing 1 game with a score-throwing shoulder finished 11 of 18 for 94 yards. Allen finished 13 of 17, passing for 148 yards and 2 touchdowns and 3 rushes for 18 yards and a score, and 0 catches for 7 yards and a TD. He was serenaded by fans with chants of MVP and sat out most of the fourth quarter. It was a good feeling. This one feels a little bit different this early in the season, Allen said, of clinching the division while also staying in the hunt to catch Kansas City, who was 11-1 for the AFC's top seed. It's going to be fun. I mean, to go out there and play free and play relaxed and play loose, I think that could be a dangerous team. Allen now has scored 247 career TDs, 186 passing, 59 rushing, and 2 receiving to break Hall of Famer Jim Kelly's franchise record of 244. Buffalo has won 7 straight games since back-to-back losses to Baltimore and Houston, and is 10-2 after or better for the 5th time in team history. And the first since 1991, the Bills became the NFL's 8th team and first since Indianapolis in 2009 to clinch a division title with 5 games remaining. Buffalo extended its run of scoring 30 or more points in 6 straight games, while the Niners dropped to 0-5 when scoring 20 or fewer. So the Niners will have to regroup for when they host Chicago next Sunday, and the Bills will be at SoFi Stadium to take on the Los Angeles Rams next Sunday. But the Bills had this game right from the start. It was a hard night for the 49ers. And right now, I give the game balls to the 49ers. Josh Allen, 13 of 17. Cheers and attempts, 148 yards, 2 touchdowns. James Cook, 14 attempts, 107 yards, 1 touchdown. And I think it's Dawson Knox, 2 receptions, 56 yards. Another Josh Allen stanza, I think, is going to end up being my player of the week for this week. So we shall see it. I think he is my player of the week for week 13. Now, we'll get to the Browns and Broncos in just a moment. Right now, it's time to reveal the answer to today's Scott Sports 101 Monday Night Football Week 13 trivia question. Who led the AFC in interceptions in 1994? If you said Eric Turner, you are correct. Eric Turner led the AFC in interceptions during the 1994 NFL season. And I have another trivia question on my next podcast, so stay tuned for that. All right. It's Monday Night Football, Week 13. The Cleveland Browns and the Denver Broncos are battling it out right now. And Empire Field at Mile High in Denver, Colorado. The Browns are coming off a win over the Pittsburgh Steelers last week on Thursday Night Football, a win they needed by far. The Broncos are coming off a win over the Las Vegas Raiders, last week. The Broncos want to keep their AFC wildcard hopes alive with a win over the Browns tonight. And it's been interesting, and it was a low-scoring first half, but it's gone up. And the Browns are down by 4, 21-17. 13 seconds to go to halftime. David Njoku scored the latest Browns touchdown. And so far, the Browns have gotten nothing out of and from running back Nick Chubb in the first half. He's on the sideline right now. I don't know if he'll play the second half. And I just want to read the preview to you. And this has been an interesting first half. And the Browns haven't looked too bad. And Jameis Winston's had 2 touchdown passes this first half. So he's looked pretty good. And Jerome Ford has also made some big plays as well in the first half. Okay. Jerry Jeudy can't wait to get back to Denver, the city he once was so eager to leave. Monday night marks Judy's homecoming when the Cleveland Browns were 3-8 visit the Denver Broncos, who are 7-5 when they're playing right now, who are seeking to go 3 games above 500 for the first time since opening the 2021 season with 3 victories. It ain't circled it, Judy said, but I definitely seen that it was on the schedule and was very excited about it. Now it's here. Now it's time to perform. Judy was the Broncos' first-round draft pick in 2020, and mostly disappointed before requesting a trade in March and signing a 3-year, $58 million contract extension in Cleveland. Judy returns to Denver on kind of a roll he never really enjoyed in the Mile High City. 19 catches for 300 yards and a touchdown over the last 3 games. And he's developing a good chemistry with Jameis Winston while averaging nearly 100 yards per game since week 8. That's the kind of production the Broncos envisioned, but rarely saw from the highest drafted wide receiver in franchise history. One who got along well with Denver coach Sean Payton, but still felt he needed a change in scenery. I just wasn't satisfied how they were using me, and I felt like I could do way more than what they expected of me, Judy said. I felt limited, so I felt I had to go somewhere else to really showcase what I'm about. Part of the problem was living in Cortland Sutton's shadow in Denver. Sutton is on quite a roll. Is on quite a roll himself as he deepens his connection with rookie QB Bo Mix after skipping the off-season program in a quest for more money. Sutton has caught 36 passes for 467 yards and 3 TDs over the last 5 weeks, and is coming off his first career game with multiple touchdown receptions. He even threw a TD pass to Nix at Baltimore in Week 9, just like he did when the Broncos faced Atlanta. Safety and former teammate Justin Simmons recently, Sutton said, he wishes Judy all the best, but just not in Denver. I wish nothing but many blessings and a lot of highlights coming to him, but anything past this week, Sutton said. But going into this week, he's got a tough matchup with Patrick Surtain, the second over there. That's cornerback 1. Like his former teammates, Peyton was and is a big fan of Judy's. He's explosive. He separates Peyton, adding Judy. He has great hips, great transition, and he has great football IQ. It just didn't pay off all that often in Denver. Judy grew up in Florida, about 20 minutes away from where the Broncos star fellow Alabama alum Surtain, and they squared off against each other plenty in youth football. It's going to be a fun matchup, Judy said. I've known Pat since Little League, but competing against him down there my whole life to finally get the opportunity to go against him on the big stage. It's going to be fun. 13 is equally excited to play against his childhood friend. Yeah, it's going to be fun, Certain said. I know it's going to be a great matchup. Uh, and Winston, 18 of 31 carries attempts, 245 yards, 2 touchdowns. And Bo Mix, 19 of 18 carries attempts, 110 yards. Neither quarterback has had an interception. So, and the Broncos are in position for the 7th and final AFC playoff spot entering December. The Browns have won just 2 of their last 9 games, but those victories were against playoff contending Ravens and Steelers. You can't look at records in the NFL. Broncos right tackle Mike McGinley said, "Any team, any week is capable of beating anybody. Like you just saw Carolina took Kansas City down to the wire. Take it from Judy. Altitude is a real challenge in Denver. It's kind of hard to breathe, but that shouldn't stop us," said Judy, who advised his teammates to make sure they hit that. That's what's the thing. The thing. The thing. Yeah, the altitude room. And the Browns spent time during the week in their altitude room inside the team's headquarters, where the oxygen level can be changed so players can do cardiovascular training in conditions replicating what they'll deal with in Denver. We got treadmills, we've got bikes, we've got some skiing. Winston said. Mix has been named NFL Rookie of the Week 3 consecutive times. He has thrown for at least 200 yards and 2 touchdowns without an interception in his last 3 games, which is tied for the longest streak by a rookie since the AFL NFL merger in 1970. The others to do it were C.J. Stroud, Gardner Minshew, and Dak Prescott. The Browns have a horrible history with and in Denver. Cleveland has suffered some of the toughest losses in franchise history against the Broncos, who beat the Browns in 3 AFC championships in 4 years in the late 80s. 2 of those losses were given infamous nicknames, the drive and the fumble. And I remember those well because that was back in my youth for me. The Browns are 4-14 at Denver. They won in 1970 and 72, but have gone 2-14 since. I don't put much stock in the history there. Coach Kevin Stefanski said it's a tough place to play regardless for any team that goes in there. And so we'll see. Right now, the Browns are down by 4, 21-17. And I'm going to recap the first half for you right now. And I think I've taken the Browns for tonight's game. And my brother-in-law is taking the Broncos. And if I win this night, I'll go to 12-4 and win the picks again this week. If my brother-in-law wins, he will go to 10-5, I believe. Yes. He will go to 10-6, excuse me. He will go to 10-6. All right. First quarter, the Broncos had the punt after going 3 and out. 3 plays, 7 yards, and then the Browns had to settle for a field goal. They could not score a touchdown. Winston threw a pass that was incomplete. It was a 3rd and 4 to Denver 29. So they had to settle for a field goal. 4th and 4 to Denver 29. Dustin Hopkins' 47-yard field goal was no good. Went right wide left, excuse me. And it remains scoreless. Then the Broncos scored their first touchdown of the game. It was Williams, right guard for the 2-yard touchdown. 3rd and goal at the Cleveland 20. It was the Lute's extra point was good. And it was 7-0 Denver. But the Browns answered right back. Jameis Winston first and goal at the Denver 8. Jameis Winston passed short middle to David Njoku for the 8-yard touchdown. Dustin Hopkins' extra point is good. And we're tied at 7. Then the Broncos had the punt. They're going three and out, 3 plays, no yards. Then the Browns had the punt after going 5 plays, 11 yards, and it was 7-7 at the end of the first quarter. In the second quarter, the Broncos had an interception. It was a 2nd and 4 to Cleveland 40. Bo Nix, back short left intended for Franklin, intercepted by Greg Newsome and Denzel Ward. Myles Garrett at the Cleveland 33. Greg Newsome to the Cleveland 31 for -2 yards. And then the Browns tried to score a touchdown but couldn't do it. They weren't able to get close to a touchdown. 3rd and 5 at the Denver 27. Jameis Winston pass incomplete, short left to Jerry Jeudy. Then it was a 4-and-5 at the Denver 27. Dustin Hopkins, 45-yard field goal attempt is good, and it was 10-7 Browns. The Browns had the Broncos had to go 3-and-out after had to go 3-and-out. When 3-and-out had to punt after going 3-and-out. Excuse me. 3 plays, no yards on the Broncos. And then the Browns had the punt after going 3-and-out. 3 plays, 3 yards, and then Denver scored their second touchdown of the game. First and goal to Cleveland 1. Burton Wright tackle for the 1-yard touchdown. Luke's extra point is good. 14-10 Broncos. Then the Browns had an interception. It was a 1st-and-10 at the Denver 29. Jameis Winston pass short left intended for Atkins, intercepted by Bonito and Allen at the Denver 29. Nick Bonito and Bonito for the 71-yard touchdown. And it was 20-10 Denver. It was 20-10 Denver. And then, but the extra point was good, and it was 21-10 Denver. And then the Browns came right back and scored. It was 3rd and goal to Denver 4. Jameis Winston pass short left, short right to David Njoku for the 4-yard touchdown. And Dustin Hopkins' extra point is good. 21-17 at the end of the first half. 1st-and-10 at the Denver 30. And Bo Nix Neos to the Denver 29 for -1 yards. And that's where we stand right now. But this said, Browns are still in it. They're keeping it close. And if they can keep it close and battle back and get the lead and expand it, I think they can get the win. But I think it's going to be a close game between the Browns and Broncos. But I do think the Browns will come away with the win. We shall see. Well, that's just about going to wrap it up for the Scott Sports 101 Sunday Night Football post-game show, Monday Night Football update show. I'll be back with the Monday Night Football post-game show once the game between the Browns and Broncos has concluded. Until then, always remember, be a team player each and every day in every way possible. So long, everybody. 3, 2, 1. I'm done.